In Alaska, there's a little northern light shine in her hair. I'll have a loving gold to spare in Alaska, land of the midnight sun. Alaska, we're gonna have some fun when I get there. That wonderland, so I've been told, the highest mountains made of gold. I'm a-heading north to make my road in Alaska. Like Sophie Smith and the crew, I'm gonna make my fortune too. Spend it all on gallons through in Alaska, land of the midnight sun. Alaska, we're gonna have some fun when I get there. With a Malibu butt to lead the team, I'm gonna cross that Yukon stream. The love and gold the young man dreams of Alaska. Snowflakes falling down the neck, but I don't care for what the heck. The dog team's mushing on the trek to Alaska, land of the midnight sun. Alaska, we're gonna have some fun when I get there. With a pick and shovel in my hand, soon I'm gonna make a stand. Love and nuggets hold the man in Alaska. Juneau, Anchorage, Fairbanks, Nome. Soon I'm gonna make my home with a little gal to call my own in Alaska, land of the midnight sun. Alaska, way up north, way up north, north to Alaska, to go north for us is on.
Pat Salvino, not unlike the Robert Service famous character Sam McGee, finds the magnet of the North Pole pulling him with a strange and hidden force toward Alaska, the land of contrasts.
They crossed the Yukon River and found the Bonanza Gold below that old white mountain, just a little southeast of Nome. Sam crossed the...
It's a balmy 60 degrees on this February day in Seattle. Pat has picked out his favorite rifle, loads his gear, and takes his first step toward his polar bear hunt. Not his first, but each more thrilling than the last.
Yes, Sam McCord was a mighty man in the year of 1901, where the river is winding, big nuggets they're finding, north to Alaska,
The next day, as he prepares to land in the Eskimo village of Kotzebue, far above the Arctic Circle, he now finds himself in a different world. Built along the shores of the Arctic Ocean, for 6 months of the year, the ocean is frozen, and ice several feet thick can be seen as far as the eye can see.
I'd trade all the gold that's buried in this land for one small band of golden place on the sweet
Here, many of the Eskimos live much as they did since the beginning of time, hunting and fishing for their living. But certainly the white man's influence is felt and seen as you visit these friendly people.
I'd build for my Jenny a honeymoon home.
No wonder Alaska is called the Great Land. Its boundaries stretch from the rainforests of southeastern Alaska to the central plateaus, to its gigantic mountains, and to the almost permanently frozen Arctic regions. This land so big that the only means of travel from its various cities is air.
The rush is on, way up north, way up north, way up north, way up.
Pat's a happy man as he's met by his guide, Nelson Walker. He's thrilled and excited as he prepares to check into the local hotel. The temperature is now 20 degrees below zero. The sun is only coming out for a few hours each day, as this is February in the land of the midnight sun.
team of a husky. Pass him on.
It's too late to go hunting on the first day, so Pat busies himself looking around the town and greeting old friends and making new ones. I'll bet he'd like to make friends with that one. Here's the Arctic Inn and the post office. And here, Nelson Walker, Pat's guide, greets and talks to a couple of the local citizens. Wow, that crazy kid thinks she's in Hawaii. The wind is blowing too strong for flying out over the dangerous ice pack, so why not go fishing, Eskimo style? It's several miles to the nearest freshwater lake, but the sturdy legs of the tireless huskies will take Pat and his Eskimo guide there in quick order. Well, it's clear and the temperature has dropped to 25 below. How would you like to have a run in that? The ice axe is used to dig through the thick ice on this lake near Kotzebue. Say, Pat, that's a good-looking Arctic sheefish, and certainly one of the finest eating fish in the world. After a day's cold fishing, that coffee shop is really going to look good. And you'll notice those husky dogs are coming in just a little bit slower than when they went out. Get the frying pan ready, folks. It's Arctic sheefish for dinner tonight. Pat's informed by his guides, John Swiss and Nelson Walker, that there's too much ice fog out over the ice pack to take a chance of going hunting. So Pat visits and photographs the natives and learns about their crafts. Here, he sees the local shoemaker making a pair of mucklucks. The soles are the skin of the bearded seal, and the tops are a beautiful hair seal. Well, it's warmed up, and it's only 5 below today. So this enterprising craftsman decides to work outside. He's making Eskimo ceremonial masks using nature's raw materials. In this case, it's the jawbone of a whale that he captured last spring. The Eskimos are expert carvers, whether using the coarse, porous material such as the whale's jawbone, or walrus ivory, which is considered the finest ivory on Earth. Here the ivory carver is using the Eskimo bow drill to drill a hole in the ivory tusks he's carving. Pat and his guides, John Swiss and Nelson Walker, are all becoming impatient now, and Pat wants to talk hunting. So that's just what they do. And here, John and Nelson tell Pat what their plan is. How they'll fly out of Kotzebue, west out over the frozen Arctic Ocean toward Russia, maybe 200 or 300 miles from shore, where they hope to find the wanderer of the north, the giant polar bear. The morning's clear and the day that these hunters have been waiting for has arrived. There's a lot of hustle and bustle as the guides ready the airplanes. Load extra gas in cans in the back end. They warm up the motor with heat pots and pour in the oil that they've had in their houses warming up on the stove. The moment is here, and Pat boards the Super Cub with his pilot, and they're off for the ice pack. For one who's never seen the top of the world, it's difficult to imagine that during 6 months of the year, the top of our Earth is frozen and almost solid ice. On some occasions, the ice breaks and large open pieces of water can be seen. Here, the pilot must know his business because everything looks exactly the same when you head out over the ice pack. Flying 100 miles an hour, it doesn't take you long to lose sight of land in this strange and overpowering environment. The frozen Arctic Ocean is not smooth as currents and tides often force the ice to buckle, forming large pressure ridges, pushing great hunks of ice above the surface. And here's what Pat's traveled 3,000 miles to see, the polar bear. One of nature's strangest animals who spends his entire life roaming the frozen Arctic wastes, probably never touching land. Now they've been flying over 250 miles, and it's time to refuel the Super Cubs with the gasoline that they've been carrying in the back seat. And Pat gets out to stretch his legs. The polar bear roams the ice pack always in search of food, which is mainly the seal, although occasionally he may eat fish. He's always looking for the seal that can be found near the open leaves where the ice pack is parted. Here's a mother with her 3 last year's cubs, also out looking for a meal. The bears are really thick here, but none of them are big enough to be in the record class, and that's what Pat's looking for. Well, John takes a picture of these, but they're not big enough, so they keep looking for another one. There's a lot of bear here. There must be some big males, so they decide to land and look at the size of the tracks in the area. As long as he stays away from those pressure ridges, the pilot can land anywhere on the ice pack. It's very strong and thick and a good landing field for these ski planes. Pat's bundled up, and you would be too, as it's now 30 below zero. Pat and John are looking for bear in tracks, and they find some that seem to be worth looking at. Wow, look at the size of those. This bear will be worth following. As the hunters begin stalking the bear, it all of a sudden reverses itself, and the bear begins stalking the hunters. And the excitement mounts as Pat's gun is being loaded, getting ready for this moment of truth. That's a record book mail, Pat. You want to make sure that that first shot goes home. It did. But you better approach that guy cautiously. He could be playing possum. He's a giant, over 10 feet. And congratulations are certainly in order. But one doesn't linger long for congratulations here on the ice pack. And it's necessary to get the pictures over with quick and get the bear skinned out, because you're over 3 hours flying time from Kotzebue and in a place where no one would ever want to have to spend the night. The guides, with their skinning knives and skilled hands, work as fast as possible, as this is a dangerous situation. If those airplanes have cooled off too much, you may be in for some real trouble. And you're hoping now that the airplanes will start in this 30-degree below weather. Is it going to go? Wow, that's a relief. And now, a long flight back to Kotzebue. You'll notice it's late, the shadows are getting long. The next step is to take care of that hide. Here, the next day, you see the Eskimo woman with her ulu cutting off the fat from the hide. The next step is to clean the hide by rubbing snow into the bloody places and punching it into the salt water through a hole in the ice. Reason for celebration as Pat's successful hunt is coming to a close. Here, the Eskimos, with their drums made of the walrus intestine, celebrate in true Eskimo style. Pat, the honored guest, is enjoying every minute of the dance, where every word and every movement has a special meaning. Pat's back home, and Seattle's balmy temperatures feel plenty warm. Home may look good to Pat, but you can be sure he'll soon be planning another hunt. The trip will not be complete until Pat has the polar bear rug in his home. Here the fur dresser is fleshing the bear hide, modern style. Through the tanning process and into the drums that will work the skin and clean the fur until it's soft and luxurious. The stretching and pulling of the skin breaks up the fiber so it's soft and pliable. And the beating machines clean the fur of any impurities. Pat wants to keep the skull, so a matching set of artificial teeth is prepared, and the taxidermist sets these into the fiberglass form. The skin is now put over the form, and the skilled hands of the taxidermist will work the details into shape just as they would be in life. Even the wrinkles of the snarl are there. The hide is then nailed out on the stretching tables to pull it back to its full size, and the gaberdine lining and felt border complete the job. Pat's an impatient man, will not be happy until he sees that rug. Well, Pat, there it is. Looks a little different than it did lying on that ice pack. Another adventure has ended for Pat Salvino, but for the rest of his life, he'll never forget his polar adventure. He'll often look at his polar bear rug, and his thoughts will wander back to that Super Cub with John Swiss and Nelson Walker, to the dog sled, to the ice pack, that faraway land with the strange people, and the thrill of stalking and shooting the great wonder of the North in his own environment.